My name is Grace Harper, and at 73, I thought the worst pain of my life was already behind me, the day I held Tom's hand as cancer finally took him from me. But I was wrong. The deepest wound wasn't losing my husband. It was discovering that the little girl we raised, the one we poured every ounce of love into, could look me in the eye, even over the phone, and sell my home out from under me without a single tremor in her voice. Tom and I met in 1972, two kids fresh out of high school with nothing but a beat-up Chevy truck and a dream. We bought 40 acres of tired, rocky land in Sonoma County, California, for almost nothing because no one else wanted it. We named it Harper's Haven. Every vine we planted, every fence post we hammered in, every harvest we celebrated, we did it together. Tom had hands like oak bark, rough and strong but gentle when he tucked our newborn daughter Lily into them for the first time. We raised her under those wide California skies, teaching her to read the weather and the clouds, to taste the soil for ripeness, to understand that good things come slow and honest. Lily was sunshine in human form when she was small, bare feet running between the rows, laughter echoing off the hills, falling asleep on Tom's shoulder during late-night bottling sessions. We thought we'd done it right. We thought love like ours would root deep in her the way the Cabernet roots dug into our hills. But cities have a way of calling loud. By 20, Lily wanted more than quiet sunsets and dusty boots. She moved to Los Angeles, chasing modeling gigs that never quite panned out, then influencer partnerships that promised the world. That's where she met Ryan, tall, polished, with a smile that sold futures he didn't own. He talked in percentages and flips and crypto moons. Lily believed every word. They married fast, lived faster, leased Range Rovers, rented penthouse views they couldn't afford, vacations coasted in perfect filters. I sent money when they asked. Rent was late, car payment due, just until the next sponsorship, Mom. I sent it because Tom and I had always believed family doesn't keep score. Tom got sick the year Lily turned 35. Pancreatic cancer. Fast, cruel, merciless. I nursed him at home so he could die looking at the vines he loved. Lily came twice, once for a weekend, distracted by her phone, once for the funeral, wearing designer black and leaving before the graveside lunch. After that, the visits stopped. Calls became texts, texts became silence. 3 years later, I was still here, alone with the vineyard, the creak of the old farmhouse, Tom's flannel shirts still hanging in the closet because I couldn't bear to move them. I kept the place running with the help of Miguel, our foreman who'd been with us 30 years, and his son. We made enough to live quietly. I thought that was my life now. Sunrise pruning, afternoon bookkeeping, evenings on the porch with a glass of our reserve and memories that didn't talk back. Then came the Thursday that changed everything. I was out in the Cabernet block, sleeves rolled high, sweat mixing with the dust on my skin, when my phone rang. Lily's name on the screen made my heart lift the way it always did, foolish hope that never learned. Mom! Her voice was bright, breathless, the way it used to be when she was 10 and had caught her first fish. You're never, ever going to believe this. We did it. We actually did it. Tomorrow, we fly to Italy, Tuscany, for 6 whole months. A villa outside Siena with its own pool, olive groves, cooking classes with real Italian nonnas. We're finally living the life we've dreamed about. I leaned against the nearest vine post, smiling despite the ache in my back. Lily, honey, that sounds like heaven. You've talked about Tuscany since you were little, and we watched Under the Tuscan Sun together. She laughed, the sound tinkling like expensive glass. Right? It's happening. And Mom, to make it work, I took care of everything back home. I sold the vineyard, closed yesterday. The buyers are this amazing tech couple from San Francisco. They're turning it into a sustainable wellness retreat. Super high offer. I even included Dad's old truck in the deal. Don't worry, I found you the sweetest little apartment in town. 1 bedroom, ground floor, no stairs, right near the grocery store and the senior center. It's perfect. You'll be so much safer and happier without all that land to worry about. The world tilted. The shears slipped from my fingers and clattered to the dirt. You... what? Mom, don't freak out. Her tone shifted, impatient now, the way it did when I asked too many questions about money. You're 73. You're out there alone. The upkeep is insane. Dad's gone. It's just a house and some grapes now. This money sets us all free. Free? The word cracked out of me like a sob I hadn't given permission for. Lily Grace Harper, this is my home. This is where your father drew his last breath in my arms, where you learned to walk between these rows, where we scattered his ashes under the olive tree he planted the day you came home from the hospital. You sold it without even asking me? Silence on the line, then a sigh. Mom, please don't make this dramatic. Ryan handled all the paperwork. It's legal. It's done. You'll thank me later when you're not killing yourself over harvest anymore. Legal? My voice rose, shaking. You forged my signature? You went behind my back and sold the only thing I have left of your father? Mom, stop. We needed this. I needed this. You've had your life. Now let me have mine. Lily, I whispered, tears already burning down my cheeks into the dust on my shirt. How could you do this to me? I love you, okay? I'll send you photos from the villa. We'll talk when I'm settled. Gotta run. Flight's early. Bye. The line went dead. I don't remember walking back to the house. I only remember collapsing on the porch steps, the same steps where Tom used to sit carving whistles for Lily out of grapevine wood. I sobbed until my ribs hurt, until the sun bled out across the hills and the vines turned to black silhouettes against the sky. I pressed Tom's old flannel shirt to my face and whispered into the empty air, Tom, our baby just took everything we built. She took you from me all over again. Miguel found me there after dark. He didn't say much, just helped me inside, made me tea, promised he'd keep an eye on things. I couldn't sleep. I kept seeing Lily's little girl face laughing as she chased fireflies between the rows, and then hearing that cold, casual voice on the phone. The next morning, I moved like a ghost. I hadn't been in Tom's office since the funeral, couldn't bear the smell of his aftershave still lingering on the leather chair. But something pulled me there. I opened the old oak desk, hands trembling, and in the deepest drawer, wrapped in one of his red bandanas, was a thick leather folder. On the front, in Tom's careful handwriting, From my Gracie, open only if I'm not beside you to do it myself. I sat on the floor and opened it. Inside were deeds to 3 commercial buildings in downtown Napa, winery tasting rooms we'd never talked about, stock portfolios, trust documents, bank statements showing balances I couldn't comprehend at first glance. $15 million. More. All in my name alone, protected by layers of legal safeguards Tom had quietly built over decades. He'd taken every extra dollar from good harvest years, every bonus, every side consultation he did for neighboring vineyards, and invested it, early in companies like Apple when they were still hungry, in Amazon before the world knew its name, in Netflix and Tesla. He'd done it in silence, telling only our attorney, wanting to surprise me one day with the trip we'd always dreamed of, a year traveling the world, starting in Italy. There was a letter folded on top. My dearest Grace, if you're reading this, I left you too soon, and I'm sorrier than words can carry. You were the best part of every day I lived. This money isn't for show or for waste. It's for your peace, your joy, your choices. I watched our Lily grow away from the land, from us. I hope I'm wrong, but if she ever puts her wants above your heart, remember, love protects what matters most. Use this wisely, my love. Buy yourself beauty. Buy yourself time. Buy yourself whatever makes you smile the way you did when we danced in the barn after harvest. I'll be waiting under our olive tree when your work here is done. All my love, every day, forever. I cried until there were no tears left, holding that letter to my chest like it was his hand. I called our attorney, Mr. Ellis, that same afternoon. He'd known. He confirmed everything was airtight. Lily and Ryan had no legal claim. The sale of the vineyard was built on forged documents. Within days, quietly, without trauma, the transaction was voided. The supposed buyers, Ryan's investor friends planning a quick flip, backed off fast when forgery charges were mentioned. Harper's Haven remained mine. Tom's truck remained mine. The vines kept growing. I didn't tell a soul about the money. Not Miguel, not Mr. Ellis beyond what he already knew, and certainly not Lily. 6 months crawled by. No calls, no texts, just occasional Instagram stories. Lily and Ryan in front of the Tuscan villa, clinking Prosecco glasses at golden hour dinners, captions about living the dream and manifesting abundance. Then, one rainy November night, my phone rang at 2 a.m. I fumbled for it, heart pounding. Lily's name. Mom? Her voice was small, raw, nothing like the bright excitement of 6 months ago. Mom, please pick up. Please don't hang up. I'm here, baby. My own voice shook. I'm here. She broke. Great wrenching sobs poured through the phone like a dam finally giving way. He's gone. Ryan's gone. He left me 2 weeks ago. There was someone else, some travel blogger he met in Florence. He took everything, Mom. The villa deposit, the money from the vineyard sale that never actually went through because you stopped it somehow. All our accounts. He cleaned them out. He put credit cards in my name, loans, debts. Over $400,000. I have nothing. Nothing. I'm at LAX right now with 1 suitcase and $23 in my wallet. And I'm so scared. And I know I don't deserve to ask, but please, Mom, can I come home? I'll sleep in the barn. I'll work the harvest. I'll do anything. Just please don't turn me away. I have nowhere else. Her crying was the sound of a heart splintering. I closed my eyes and saw her at 5 years old, crying the same way when her kitten went missing. I saw her at 16, crying when her first boyfriend broke her heart. I saw her at 38, crying because she'd finally run out of places to hide from herself. Come home, Lily, I said softly. The porch light's always on for you. She arrived the next afternoon in the rain. Thin, pale, eyes red and swollen, hair pulled back in a messy knot, wearing clothes that once were expensive but now looked tired. When the taxi crunched up the gravel drive and she stepped out, she stopped dead, staring at the house, the vines, the truck still parked where Tom left it. Mom, her voice cracked. It's still here. All of it. How? I walked down the steps and opened my arms. She dropped her suitcase and ran into them like she was 10 again, burying her face in my shoulder, sobbing so hard her whole body shook. I'm sorry, she choked out against my shirt. I'm so sorry, Mom. I was horrible, cruel. I treated you like you didn't matter anymore, like your pain was an inconvenience. I sold Dad's legacy for a vacation. I broke your heart, and I can't fix it. I held her tighter. Shh, you're home now. That's step 1. We stood in the rain until we were both soaked through. For the first weeks, she was quiet, ashamed. She slept in her old childhood room, the one with the faded flower wallpaper we'd picked together. She got up at dawn with Miguel and me, worked the vines until her hands blistered, came in at dusk exhausted and silent. She took a second job waitressing at the little cafe in town, smelling of coffee and bacon when she dragged in after midnight. We didn't talk much. There didn't seem to be words big enough yet. One night in January, after a 12-hour day tying canes in the cold, she came into the kitchen where I was making soup. Her hands were raw, cracked from the work. She sat at the table, head in her hands. "Mom," she whispered, "I hate who I was. I look at these vines and I remember Dad teaching me how to sucker them, telling me patience is the secret ingredient in good wine and good people. I threw that away. I thought money and likes and filters were the point. But they're not. I was so empty. And I hurt you, the one person who never stopped loving me." I set a bowl of soup in front of her and sat down. "You did hurt me," I said quietly, "deeper than I can explain. Some nights I didn't know if I could keep breathing." She looked up, tears spilling. "I know, and I don't expect you to just forget it. I needed you to know I see it now. All of it." "That's a start," I said, reaching across to cover her cold hand with mine. Spring came, the vines budded, Lily's hands toughened. She started asking questions again, about rootstock, about fermentation, about the way Tom used to taste the grapes and know exactly when to pick. She enrolled in night classes at the community college for viticulture and enology. She wanted to learn it right this time. One warm June evening, after we'd finished bottling the new rosé, I drove her into Napa to Mr. Ellis's office. "Mom, why are we here?" she asked, nervous. Inside, I handed her the leather folder, the one Tom had left me. She opened it slowly, read the balances, read the deeds, read Tom's letter last. When she reached his words about protecting what matters most, she pressed the paper to her chest and started to cry, quiet, deep tears that seemed to come from her bones. "Dad," he whispered, "he knew I might do something like this." "He hoped you wouldn't," I said, "but he loved you enough to protect me anyway." She looked at me, eyes shattered. "And you kept it from me all this time. You let me work myself raw. You let me feel what it's like to have nothing." "I did," I admitted, "because I needed you to understand what you almost took from me. Not the money, the home, the memories, the love that built this place. I needed you to earn your way back to it." She slid off the chair and knelt in front of me, wrapping her arms around my waist the way she did when she was small and needed comfort. "I don't deserve you," she sobbed, "either of you. But I swear on Dad's grave, I will spend every day trying to be someone you can be proud of again." I stroked her hair. "You already are, baby. Look how far you've come." We cried together in that quiet office until Mr. Ellis pretended to need more coffee and gave us space. Today, 5 years later, Harper's Haven is more alive than ever. Lily runs our tasting room and teaches workshops on sustainable farming. We've turned part of the land into a small retreat for women rebuilding their lives, widows, divorcees, mothers starting over. They come for a weekend, work the vines, drink our wine, sit under Tom's olive tree, and talk about what matters. Lily got her sommelier certification. She's dating a quiet winemaker from down the road who loves the land as much as she's learning to again. They're taking it slow. Some evenings, the three of us, Lily, me, and the memory of Tom, sit on the porch at sunset. The hills turn gold, then rose, then purple. Lily pours our reserve Cabernet, the one we age longer now, for patience. Last month, she turned to me, glass in hand, eyes shining. "Mom," she said softly, "Dad was right. The best things in life grow slow, like these vines, like forgiveness, like love that comes back when you think it's gone forever." I reached over and squeezed her hand. "He'd be so proud of you, sweetheart. We both are." Some wounds never fully close, but grace, real grace, covers them with new growth. And sometimes the people who break us are the very ones who teach us how strong love can be when it refuses to let go.